I'm going to try and make this a quick video today. It's the early morning of July 30th, and last night we got the pretty much reveal and blog for Reckoning, the final map of Black Ops 6 Zombies. There's a lot to talk about here, but primarily I wanted to talk about the different enemies we'll be seeing on this map. I was going to make this a kind of different video initially, but just talking about enemies in games in general and using Black Ops 6 as kind of the main point. But we got the Reckoning reveal, and I was kind of waiting for this map to get revealed anyways, but here we go. So just a general kind of rundown. The blog talks about, you know, this is the turning point between Sam and Richtofen and Sam, their conflict. It talks about the Gorg effects, the new wonder weapon. Gorg effects. Where have I heard a name that sounds like that before? And we also know that there's a base variant, and then there are 2 upgrades as well. I won't go too much into a lot of it, no, and this will be the main point, but just to kind of cover the map. So yes, we've got the Gorg effects, very cool looking wonder weapon, very unique, honestly. It seems like it shoots a explosive blast. This zombie model here, I found this in the files a while ago. It's like a Terminus experiment zombie, but it wasn't on Terminus. But yes, there are some new like experiment zombies. So they're just standard zombie models, but they're cool. I just wanted to get that out of the way. I just wanted to talk about that quickly. And the map also seems to have a focus on gravity functions, like gravity functionality or anti-gravity. There's a lot to go into here. But I'm not necessarily here to do that because, hey, other people are going to do it. But really what I'm here to talk about are the different enemies we will be seeing on Reckoning on this map. I'm very pleasantly surprised when it comes to the enemies on this map from what we know so far. So there was an enemy leaked a while ago. It was called the Mecha Klaus. It got leaked back in February, I believe. I think it was February, but it was earlier this year. This enemy here, this big guy, Uber Klaus, was leaked.
I intend to purge you thoroughly.
Here it is. It's on this map, and it looks insane. And it's a really cool enemy, and it seems to be it's entirely melee focused, seemingly. The blog kind of goes into some of its abilities, like how, in a way, it's similar to a Megaton, where once you do enough damage, it will split off into a second form, being one of these things, and I'll talk about these in a minute. But it has these massive Tesla coils, and they could be weak spots, or they could have something to do with anti-gravity. It doesn't really talk about it, to be honest. But it's Klaus. I was saying ages ago that I believe that Project Janus would be mass producing Klaus units, and I was bang on the money because it's not just Uber Klaus. There is a whole Klaus factory in one of the towers, and they have been mass producing not only Uber Klaus mech suits, but another new enemy, a light enemy seemingly, called the Kommando Klaus. And they seem to also be the special round for this map. So I think there's definitely something to talk about there, and I will get to general enemy variety and how I think this map's actually a massive step up in a minute. But just in general, this map looks phenomenal. The trailer stuff and all the teasers and the marketing stuff we got, it looks superb. I think there's a really high probability that this will be the best map in this game, and the stakes are high. It talks about it was a cosmic threat, I think, I think the boss fight will be something very interesting to look forward to. People are theorizing it might be related to the Shadow Smiths, considering Panos is here and Blanchard will be hunting Panos. Yeah, I think we're in for a very good time with this map. And I cannot wait. August 7th is going to be a phenomenal day, I think. Considering this map has to set up Black Ops 7 Zombies as well, I think there's a lot to look forward to. But enemy-wise, yeah, so Uber Klaus. Look at it. I look at this thing. It looks phenomenal. And it's Klaus. It's Klaus in the mech suit. That's fun. That's a fun time. He maintains a cocky attitude, lethal efficiency, and super strength, all directed at newly programmed threats. So it's everything you'd want out of a Klaus enemy, I think, or an enemy themed around Klaus. and he's here to kill us, and he's here to hunt us. It's gonna be fantastic. Now, the Klaus or the Kommando Klauses are a very cool enemy. I'm obsessed with both of these, but these guys especially, I love their design. I mean, I love both designs, but like, oh, I adore these. These are incredible looking. So what are they? Well, they're flying enemies, and it seems like they're kamikaze enemies too. So they will fly towards you and blow up. And yeah, they are seemingly, look, they are the special enemy, or not special, but they are like the special round from this map, and it's a red hue instead of a green hue. Every map in this game, other than Reckoning, every map has a special round. All of them have been they've had a green hue, so it's gotten a bit stale, honestly. Every map had parasites or vermin for their special round, bar Shattered Veil, which had toxic zombies, which is a good change up. Shattered Veil as a map was a great change up when it came to enemy variety, because we had Elder Disciples and their being able to force evolution. That mechanic was very interesting. But we also had toxic zombies as the primary light enemy on that map, and they were also the enemy for the special rounds. This time it's the Kommando Klauses, and we get a different theming as well. I hope the round theme's different for the special round. I don't think it will be, but we'll see. I hope it is. I would hope it's just the Cold War one, because that's my favorite. We will see, but it might be something new. It could be very roboticized. It could be cool. They could do something really cool with it, but I've got a feeling it might just be the same track again. That's fine, so be it. We will see. We will see on come launch day. But these guys are really cool, and also they have, like I mentioned, there is a Megaton styled mechanic where if you do enough damage to the Uber Klaus, the Kommando Klaus inside will actually eject from the suit and start flying around. So it's a two-phase fight, similar to the Megatons, where the Megaton would split into a bomber and blaster when you did enough damage. It was a two-phase fight. It's the same with the Uber Klaus. You do enough damage to the suit itself, and the Kommando Klaus will fly out. It will eject, and you'll have to fight that. So again, I think as an enemy, it has a really cool set of mechanics from what we know. I think there'll be a fun time. Now, in comparison to the rest of the game, I think this is a massively great step in the right direction, and I'd like to hope that with Black Ops 7, we continue to see mostly unique enemies per map instead of just seeing, for example, vermin and parasites returning. It's also the same with how doppelgasts and amalgams returned constantly. And I do understand that they were a part of the evolution mechanic. And it's a pretty cool mechanic, and I appreciate it. I appreciate its existence. It's great, but it did get quite stale seeing those four enemies in particular returning. When, for example, Shock Mimics and Elder Disciples only showed up in one map each. But even then, it's like, well, we don't necessarily want those same Cold War enemies. So Manglers, Abominations, Disciples, and Mimics returning over and over. I love them; they're all fantastic, but I do want them to slow down and maybe even softly retire these enemies. Speaking of Manglers, no, they do seem to be on this map as well, but they do fit the theme of it. You can see a Mangler shockwave like projectile from the cannon in one of in the trailer. But this map, seemingly, there were no vermin or anything in the footage we've seen. This map seems to be focusing on mechanical enemies or mechanized enemies. So Uber Klaus, Commander Klauses, and Manglers, because Manglers are cyborgs. They are cybernetic zombies, and Project Janus Manglers would make sense to show up in the heart of Project Janus, their big research facility, their Janus Towers. So I think Manglers do really fit this map. And I mentioned on Twitter the other day that I think Shock Mimics could honestly maybe work, considering there is a room with a lot of vegetation. And I think with all of the science equipment, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Shock Mimics on this map too. I think they would fit, but at the same time, I also would like to just see the mechanized stuff. So the new Klaus enemies and the Manglers. I think that's a very good lineup. But yeah, easily probably the best enemy variety in this game. To have that be on the final map too is really cool. I just wish this was the case for every map, but every map did introduce a new enemy. Doppelgas were introduced on Citadel. Shock Mimics were on the 2. Shattered Veil introduced or reintroduced Elder Disciples, and it also brought in toxic zombies. And this map brings in the 2 new Klaus enemies. Hopefully in Black Ops 7, this is a trend that continues. We get to see unique enemies on every map, and we only see enemies return maybe once or twice into the game. Unless we see something like Outbreak, where it would make sense to have basically every enemy. But, we don't really know if Outbreak's happening. Hopefully it does. Outbreak is... I've always been a fan of Outbreak, but we will see. Same goes for Onslaught or any other side modes. We'll have to wait and see. But for round-based maps, yeah, let's hopefully Treyarch keeps it to a couple... Hopefully Treyarch keeps it to a few enemies per map and unique enemies per map. And unique enemies on every map for the most part, albeit a couple of returning ones now and then, because you might as well. They're going to put a lot of time into making. It takes a lot of in games development. It does take a lot of time and resources to make enemies. So of course use them, but don't spam them, because it leads to things like the amalgams happening. Definitely looking back on games like Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, and even Cold War to an extent, those games definitely had better enemy variety. I think all of the different enemy visuals and a lot of the different abilities of the Cold War enemies was really good. I personally like a lot of them more as opposed to the Black Ops 6 enemies. I do love the Black Ops 6 enemies though. But if you look back on games like Black Ops 3, almost or pretty much every map had unique enemies. As much as I hate them, Der Eisendrache had the shock panzers, or like the panzers with the shock charges, and it had hellhounds too. Zetsubo had the thrashers and the spiders. Gorodkrovi introduced manglers and had the Valkyrie drones. Revelations had furies, corrupted keepers, some Margwa variants of the elemental, the void and the fire Margwas, and then it also brought back a lot of the other enemies we had seen in that game too. But for the most part, every map had its own unique enemies, and I really would like to see that return to zombies. And Shattered Veil was a good step in the right direction. This map is a great leap in the right direction. So hopefully, again with Black Ops 7, they do move towards doing this. One last thing actually before I wrap up, but when watching over the footage for the Wonder Weapon, you can actually see in the background the capture chamber of the Forsaken from Forsaken. So Synaptic Algorithm Module Sam, it seems like her sphere wasn't actually Zaikov's sphere. He's just there. They just kept him in one of the towers, meaning that he might speak to us in this map. I have been waiting for nearly 4 years for this. There's a lot of us in the community have been waiting. We've been waiting a long time to finally see Zykov again, and this is the map. This is it. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. You might not hear it in my voice now because I'm tired while recording this. But I lost my mind because of that reveal. That Zykov's going to be in the map, or at least his capture chamber is in the map. So yeah, I think that's everything I have to say on that. It's really exciting, honestly. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this map. I think there's a lot to be excited for here. So yeah, I should be streaming through most of the day on August 7th. I will be playing just some zombies in general, probably some Grief. Just a good variety of the different maps. We'll play through all the different maps. And once the map launches, me and my team will be doing the quest hunt. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.